If I can just go across to Sushil Kumar, because you're well aware of how the CBI works. CBI says that, look, these are comments which the judge has made, she's free to make that, but it's not about Bansal. They're not questioning our clean chit to Bansal, they're just saying, they're making comments like that. What do you make of that?
You see, whether it is this case or any other case, if you have a person being investigated into as an accused, and then you want to convert him into a witness, there is a procedure for it. You have to ask for pardon, he has to face the cross-examination, he has to stand the trial also. And he may also get convicted if he doesn't give true statement. But this discretion being exercised by the CBI itself, that you remove a person from the array of accused and you make him into witness, is completely unacceptable in law.
Prashant Bhushan, when a judge says that courts now neither cage nor parrots, Sifarish and right contacts culture won't do, unfair approach does not befit CBI, and says that the practice of CBI sending wrong signals. They're obviously referring to the Cole case as well, what the Supreme Court has said. Do you think now, even though the Pawan Bansal case has nothing to do with the Cole case, but a precedent has been set now and all courts are taking their cue from Supreme Court?
Yes, in fact, courts in general do get influenced by the general environment. And today, with the exposure of so many scams one after another, with the media taking a lot of interest in these scams, with this huge anti-corruption movement, etc., which has been around for the last 2 years, the courts also start getting tougher on these issues and start becoming more proactive.
The lower courts, higher courts, all of them.
Especially when the Supreme Court or the high courts take the lead, then the lower courts also follow that lead. And therefore, this is not surprising for the lower courts now to become more proactive, especially in this environment.
Is it a good trend?
Yes, it is a good trend, because ultimately the courts have to deliver not merely justice, but also live up to people's expectations. And when people's expectations become high in an environment like this, the courts should be able to live up to
those expectations. So, Sanjay Jha, speaking for the Congress party, what do you have to say about the system that the court is referring to, the CBI judge itself? It's a special court of the CBI, and the judge, when talking about a bail application, makes all these comments about the CBI, makes comments about your former minister as well, and raises serious doubts about the clean chit. What do you have to say?
All I can say is that the CBI investigation into whatever allegations have been made were done when Mr. Bansal was already the railway minister. Number one, I think we should record that fact. So, to assume that there is some kind of a governmental interference is being very presumptuous. Point number two, Mr. Bansal has resigned, and because a lot of people felt that he would influence the outcome of the investigations, so he's resigned from his position long time ago. Number three, this matter is up in the trial court. As a political party, how can we comment, and why should we comment on a matter which is under trial? The judge has made an observation.
But the court is, but Mr. Jha, the court is talking about the Sifarishi culture, which they are talking about the setup and the system and the government and what's prevalent now, which is in the UPA regime. Don't you think that it is an indictment?
Let me tell you. Let's not be so cynical about the institutions we have. If there is any observation, if you feel it's a very stringent or a harsh observation on the CBI, that's for Mr. Sinha and his team to respond to that. How can the Congress party respond to it? But more important, I think we should recognize this as well, that we have created an infrastructure of the Lokpal where we have talked about the independence to the CBI. We have submitted, as per the Supreme Court's observations, an affidavit on how CBI can be made independent. So the government's intentions are honorable, and we are pursuing the right objectives. Now, in terms of this particular case, Mr. Bansal has been made a prosecution witness. That's the CBI's decision. I don't think anybody on this panel has the
I don't think
expertise
we're
of the
going into
CBI
that. That's an old
investigation.
story,
All the
Mr. Jha.
documents
We're
that you
not
have
going
shown
into
on
that.
NDTV.
We're talking about the
No, all the
revelations and
documents
what
that
the
you have
court has
shown
talked
on
about today.
NDTV
I just want
have
to go.
also been, no, let me tell you, they are with the CBI. No, they are with the CBI. So CBI in its right wisdom has taken its decision.